He funds a coup in the Middle East organised by his pal al-Assad. You can tell that these two are nasty pieces of work from the start after experiencing what it's like to be a Middle Eastern political figure who stars in one of their home movies.
Go. Check your corners.
You play as either Sergeant John Soap McTavish of the 22nd SAS Regiment or Sergeant Paul Jackson of the United States Marine Corps.
Hoorah!
Hoorah! Soap's commanding officer is Captain Price, and he's your typical no-nonsense SAS hard case. At one point of the campaign, you flash back 15 years and play as a younger Price while he's on a covert operation in the recently radiated city of Chernobyl, where he's been sent to assassinate Zakhaev. Price and his CO, Captain Macmillan, are decked out in leafy ghillie suit camouflage and have to sneak silently around the Russian forces in order to get a shot at their target. This section is a shining example of how consistently atmospheric and exciting modern warfare's missions are. You can almost taste the nuclear fallout in the air, and the deserted city feels suitably cold and grey. The dramatic tension rises as their mission culminates with a one-shot sniping opportunity.
Yes, hotel. We should be able to observe the exchange room. It's now or never. Take the shot. Copy.
It's a Call of Duty tradition that some missions are played as on-rails vehicle rides. Here you'll find yourself manning the guns of a chopper as it swoops low over a Middle Eastern war zone trying to dodge flak. In another section, you're on board a plane providing air support for the SAS as they try to escape a sticky situation. This is presented in grainy black and white, just like the footage you sometimes see on the news. Exciting stuff! Overall presentation is excellent. Shrapnel, smoke, debris, exploding buildings, interiors. Make no mistake, the environments here are some of the best yet. Unlike Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, all of the guns and technology are today's, not tomorrow's. But that doesn't mean they're not satisfying. The Javelin missiles are just right for taking out enemy armor. Even melee attacks are a joy to execute. And on frequent occasions, air support can be called in. And night vision goggles have never been so convincing. Enjoyable as it is, we do have one considerable criticism of the campaign. On normal difficulty, from inserting the disc for the first time, you're likely to blaze through it in around 6 hours. So, like Halo 3, to get the best out of it, we'd advise you to go straight in on a harder setting. One innovation which improves longevity is the arcade campaign. Playing against the clock, you can tackle any mission as a timed points challenge. Multipliers kick in for strings of kills to further boost your score. This actually works really well, and the missions are so good that you'll want to go back and replay them repeatedly. On to the multiplayer action then, an area that has proved hugely popular in previous incarnations. You get a comprehensive range of deathmatch and objective-based modes to try, and the campaign mode adapted maps are consistently well designed. Some cool new ideas have been factored in here. There's a class system which features preset soldier types, equipped with appropriate weapon loadouts for their roles. As you notch up kills and perform well in matches, you'll be awarded experience points which improve your rank, allowing you to create your own custom classes and save them for easy access later. Meeting certain weapon-specific challenges will open up new guns, gear and camouflage types to equip your soldier with. This reward system provides extra incentive for putting in those multiplayer hours. Not that more was needed. The best new addition, though, is the way that when you've been shot, but not quite killed, you're given the chance to get instant vengeance by shooting back with a pistol as you lie on the ground bleeding. Revenge, as they say, is sweet. While it could have offered a longer campaign mode, what's there is such a cinematic white-knuckle ride, it's far from disappointing. With the arcade campaign and the excellent multiplayer game considered as well, there's actually plenty of longevity. As an FPS, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare is about as good as it gets. We really ought to tweak our scoring system. This is a solid 9 out of 10. Can we say 4.5?
It sure has been a long time coming, but Samus Aran has finally made her Wii debut in Metroid Prime 3: Corruption. But is this much anticipated shooter a fitting concluding chapter to the Prime trilogy? We rejoin the celebrated bounty hunter while she's enjoying a well-earned cryogenic kip 6 months after the events of the last GameCube installment, Echoes, where she'd defeated her evil nemesis, Dark Samus. Her usual employers, the Galactic Federation, have been targeted by what seems to be a particularly malicious computer virus, and those pesky space pirates are top of their list of suspected hackers.
Where did this virus come from?
We believe the virus is of space pirate origin.
But Samus and a crew of her bounty hunting buddies discover there's a greater evil force at work. No prizes for guessing who it is. Yes, the malevolent Dark Samus is back and intent on corrupting the whole universe with that icky Phazon energy. For those hoping corruption might reveal more about one of gaming's iconic female characters, get over it now. As with all previous Metroid games, we only get tantalising glimpses of what's beneath that shiny suit. Her bounty hunting buddies are nicely realised characters and provide some welcome humanity in an engaging but familiar sci-fi story.
She's coming too. Can you hear me, Samus?
In response to the threat, the Federation issue our heroine with a Phazon enhancement device. This new suit enables Samus to channel the dark Phazon energy to make her weapons supremely powerful. Holding down the plus button on the remote activates hyper mode. In this state, all shots are super powered, and when charged, a rapid fire stream of pain flies from the business end of Samus's blaster. Keep an eye on the Phazon meter though. If you use it too long and overload the PED suit, which is easily done, the only way to keep her alive is to discharge the dangerous Phazon through continuous firing. These beefed up weapons are undoubtedly the most satisfying in the series to date. Usefully, by pressing the plus button again, you can switch back to normal mode whenever you like. Corruption differs from preceding games in the series in that Samus starts out pretty well equipped. Morphball, bombs, power beam and double jump are all at her disposal from the get-go, and you'll gain missiles very early on. Other abilities like the grapple lasso and the X-ray visor have to be collected, but this time it's more about upgrading the existing equipment rather than having to switch between stuff all the time. This is cool because it simplifies the gameplay a bit, and parts of her suit change from the usual yellow and orange to a nice metallic silver with each upgrade, which gives her a much meaner look for this autumn-winter season. But if you think that Samus's impressive opening armory means that you won't have to revisit old areas once you've unlocked upgrades, think again. Many parts of levels will only be accessible once you've powered up, so if the retracing your steps aspect of the Metroid tradition isn't something you get along with, tough. In terms of controls, Corruption is a shining example of how well the Wii Remote and nunchuck control can work in an FPS. Use the nunchuck's analog stick to walk, while pointing the remote deals with looking around and aiming. There's still a lock-on feature triggered with the nunchuck Z button, but it just acts as a camera lock, leaving you free to aim where you like. This takes a little getting used to, but once it clicks and you've adjusted the remote's sensitivity to your taste, you'll be blasting away happily and won't miss the old-style controls one bit.
Pull. Twist.
Other actions, like when you're twisting locks or welding circuits, use the remote in very logical yet ingenious ways. You can also play with the controls inside Samus's ship, which is a nice touch. So far, so good. Let's move on to the multiplayer modes. Actually, let's not, because that's where this title really comes a cropper. There's not just a lack of online multiplayer, there's no system link or split-screen multiplayer either. That Corruption is purely a single-player experience is particularly galling when you consider that Hunters on the DS has already proved that Metroid can work brilliantly in a networked multiplayer situation. The campaign will take you a hefty 20 hours to clock though, and a new super hard mode plus an achievement system that unlocks bonus materials will extend its longevity. So So this isn't the multiplayer FPS that hardcore Wii owners have been crying out for, but as a single-player experience, it's hard to beat. 4 out of 5.
No one is ever safe. Both of you should be taking.
Come on, Roman. He's got nothing to do with... Sully!
Uncharted Drake's Fortune is like playing an interactive Hollywood blockbuster. The story finds Drake on his search for the coffin of his supposed ancestor, Sir Francis Drake. Helena, a lady reporter, has paid Drake for the exclusive, never letting her camera leave her side.
You make it sound so dirty.
Drake finds a diary that starts off an epic journey of discovery, and some unwelcome pirates force Helena to tag along. Here enters Sullivan, or Sully, Drake's partner in crime and something of a father figure.
Wait a minute, is this what I think it is?
And to cut a long story very short, big crash, stranded on an island swarming with mercenaries, a race to find the treasure. Think Raiders of the Lost Ark and you pretty much have it.
Oh boy.
The cutscenes in the game really work at telling the well-written, twist-packed story. They're integrated into the gameplay seamlessly and play out without being too long, giving the game a truly epic feel. The exposition also cleverly continues after the cutscenes, using the in-game engine. A very good use of time and game. It makes the initial exploration levels more engaging, but it also means that you don't have to sit through hours of mindless cutscenes at the expense of gameplay.
This reminds me. I ever tell you about the time I pawned a phony 16th century Santa off on Pablo Escobar?
And that gameplay consists of exploration and combat. The exploration sections of the game sees Nathan Drake having to adventure his way through, over and across some seriously unbelievable sections. It's not for the faint-hearted, as you find yourself scaling the outside of ruined structures or making your way up sheer cliff faces with the tiniest finger hold on a rock ledge or vine swing. Animation here is great. He sure ain't Superman, and you can see him working really hard not to fall. The aim of all this huffing is, of course, to find the treasure. Using Drake's diary will help. Pressing select when prompted will give you advice on the game's puzzles. These puzzles are strewn throughout the game, and we're glad that they weren't the main focus. There's just the right amount of puzzling without taking away from the other side of Drake's Fortune, the action. Which brings us nicely onto combat. Drake can carry 2 guns at a time, a handgun and a larger weapon that he carries on his back. The first handgun you acquire is a 9mm semi-automatic and is a trusty friend all the way through the game. You pick up other small handguns en route, like our favourite, the Desert Eagle, which has limited ammo but packs a serious punch. The larger guns range from the AK-47 to the M4 assault rifle to the very useful Dragon sniper rifle. Having only 2 guns and limited ammo for each really makes you think about your approach to combat. You're always searching for more ammo and better guns, and this makes you think tactically about weapon choice. The enemies are smart and the environments are vast and very well designed. There's no point going out guns blazing. If you last more than 30 seconds, you'll just run out of ammo. The best way is to use all available cover and go for short, precision fire. Is best. You want to get up close and personal. Using a couple of buttons, you can also activate a special brutal brawler melee kill. very satisfying. But we found melee should be used only if absolutely necessary. You do find yourself without ammo on occasion, and it's the best way to restock. Before we forget, you also have use of grenades. Use the 6-axis controller to set trajectory. A bit fiddly. We'd prefer just to use the thumbsticks. Enemy AI is commendable. These guys move about a lot. You'll have to keep an eye out as they will try to flank attack from behind, and they just love using grenades. So a great cover position 1 minute is a bullet magnet the next. Best to keep moving. This seriously adds the adrenaline rush of a full-on gunfight. Just as you think the game's getting a bit samey, the developers at Naughty Dog throw the game some serious twists to keep you on your toes. No spoilers, but some of the latter enemies have you bricking it.
Damn it! This guy's crazy.
So, overall, we love this game. We couldn't get enough. Average playthrough time is approximately 9 hours in normal mode. Don't put it on easy, it'll just spoil things. And the game does have some replay value. As soon as we finish, we wanted to start from the beginning in hard mode. It's not often a game pulls us in that much. In addition, there are treasure collectibles to find. It's very unlikely you'll find them all on the first playthrough, and there's a stack of achievements to go back and complete. This will have you hunting high and low to unlock everything. Some of the rewards you unlock extend the life of the game too. Mirror mode flips each level, giving each a whole new look, and the flip mode flips the screen every time Drake dies, which messes with your mind. And we couldn't wait to replay the whole game using the unlockable pirate skin. He's no Long John, that's for sure. Action-packed, story-driven, immensely exciting, unlockables aplenty, and one of the best games we've played this year. We can't wait for the obvious sequel. It's going to make a lot of people wish they had a PS3. 5 out of 5.
Nate? Be careful.
Come on. I always am.
Ah!
I think I found something. Drop what you're doing and help me over. Oh my God! Gordon!
Oh, there you are. Yes, Gordon Freeman returns in Half-Life 2 Orange Box, a compendium of Half-Life inspired games that includes 3 brand new titles from FPS masters Valve. Half-Life 2 Episode 2 is what many will consider the main feature. Set directly after the destruction of the Combine Citadel in Episode 1, this latest installment again sees Freeman and Alex Vance travelling across a moody alternate Earth to stop Combine plans to open a super portal and invite all kinds of alien nastiness to our home. And it's quite a different game from that show-stopping original back in 2004. The impressive but aging graphics engine may be the same, but Episode 2 is far less inclined to show us grand sights and breathtaking scenery. Alex is mortally wounded early on by a hunter, a new robotic opponent for this story. The first chunk of the game sees you searching an ancient mine for the larval extract to revive her. And that's the blueprint. Episode 2 is a series of simple puzzles and limited shootouts, the early exception being a mass battle where you have to fend off 4 tunnels of antlions with only 2 gun turrets.
Thank God you're all right.
With Alex revived, you'll eventually see your first vehicle about halfway through the game, and things move closer to familiar territory. Those hunters are formidable and scary new enemies, but by using the gravity gun and a bit of real-world mouse, like building yourself a bomb here, you should be able to defeat. Episode 2 is far more of a slog than a tour, and even with fan favourites like the Combine Hunter Chopper making a comparatively late entrance, fans waiting for startling revelations or brand new worlds may be disappointed. However, it's still intriguing, atmospheric, to see what Episode 3 has to offer. Which brings us to Portal, dismissed by some as merely a Half-Life 2 mod. If so, this is the most ingenious mod we've ever seen. This is a puzzle game with a simple premise. The player has a portal gun, able to create 2 different sorts of portals on most of the walls of a level. One is an entrance, one is an exit, and if you go in one, you come out of the other. Simple, huh? Well, initially, these portals can be used, say, to reach blocks to weigh down switches, like this. They can also be used to redirect fireballs into targets to open doors, like this.
Unbelievable.
The faster you go into one portal, the faster you'll come out of the other one. So you can fall into an entrance portal and come flying horizontally out of an exit in order to reach a distant edge, like this.
Spectacular.
The genius of the game lies in combining and recombining these simple rules into big levels that make you cry. At least they would if it were not for having a learning curve that rewards continued play with an expanding repertoire of portal skills. Simply put, level 15 might use all the skills you picked up in levels 1 to 14, usually at the same time. Our only criticism of the game is that it's too short. One day, we'll see an expanded standalone portal release, but till then, this version will do just fine. Originally a multiplayer mod for Quake, Team Fortress 2 sets 2 teams of up to 8 against each other for variations of Capture the Flag, Deathmatch and Battlefront-style territory capture. Each player chooses from 9 character classes, all survivors from the original Team Fortress. Forget the arbitrary divisions into offensive, defensive and support categories. The main differences between the classes are silly weaponry and even sillier taunt animations.
Kiss me.
Nice big maps and good cartoon fun, but new character classes would have been nice. They've been promised. Still, it rounds off a package which is probably the best value compendium of modern gaming times. Most will buy for Episode 2, in which case the free stuff, especially Portal, is amazing. While the PC pack just has the new games, the 360 version even throws in the original Half-Life 2 and Episode 1, making it pretty much essential for new system owners. And all for 40 quid. 5 out of 5. Now, let's have that full-price Portal extravaganza. See ya.